get a motion to enter back into regular session?
A motion to enter back into normal session.
Okay, may I have a second? Councilman Dowell, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Ortiz?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Action taken, there was no action taken. We received a letter of resignation from the prosecutor Richard Dick Evans, dated February 26, 2015, effective tomorrow. So no action was necessary.
But you're gonna accept
And
it.
we're going to accept. Do I have to take a vote on that too?
Well, no, but that's the motion, isn't it?
To accept the resignation?
Okay, we'll make a motion to accept the resignation for the municipal prosecutor.
You voted to get back in executive, out of executive, now you need to take action to accept the resignation.
Can I have a motion to accept the resignation?
I just motioned.
Okay, second, please.
I'll second. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries 4-0 to accept the resignation. Thank you. Now we're going to go on to item 5A. Pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code, personnel matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, city manager. Everybody has their evaluation forms to fill out? Do we do what we usually do, we go ahead and take a tally?
Unless, manager wants to.
I just want to say that I passed out the city manager performance report evaluation for the first quarter, 18 for the first quarter, which would be October, November, and December. And I believe the package is the secretary provided an evaluation, but it's just for the first quarter of this fiscal year. Mayor and City Council, if I may, I just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to the fiscal year of 2014-2015, and following a host of meetings and budget workshop that we prepared and presented to this council for approval, we should hopefully accomplish some of the things that we set forward in this budget and to continue to work some of the projects for the city of Floresville. Some of the highlights, of course, is the USDA application, the street program, some grant applications that we're hoping to receive some grants this year, staff training, city policies and procedures we're working on, trying to update. I'm looking forward for the audit for 2013, 2014, and I've been doing my monthly reports to the city council, as well as making sure that the financial reports are being presented. Attached per the contract, which is attachment B on my contract, is the goals and objectives that we have are listed there for the first quarter, as well as a copy of my contract, because I know we have two new council members that may not have a copy of my contract, and so I have included a copy of my contract there.
based on your performance, Ms. Henrietta, I gave you a 9. I think you've been, taken care of all that we've expected you to take care of, and then some. You've taken on a huge task, and I think you're going along very well and taking strides, and I think you're doing great.
Well, again, I want to say that I thank the council for giving me the opportunity. I think that we're going to have some tools in place and have some things going forward. It took me my first year to figure out where East Street is, and that you all have 2 181 business loop as well as the main one, but I think I have a strong grasp on it, and I'm looking forward to moving some of these projects forward and hopefully in the years to come. Thank you, Councilman, I appreciate it.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I gave you, total points of 76, which averages out to 7. And I think this is higher than I gave you last time, so you're moving up.
And I listened to you on the communication, so I'm hoping that we can communicate more with staff as well as myself. And I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to meet with you one-on-one so that we can see and I can get a clear understanding of how this board thinks. So thank you.
Yeah, I see how you're understanding our community more. I mean, when you first came, you kind of, this work out that way. And I think the citizens also appreciate what you're doing.
You know, on that same subject, I've had some community members to bring me things, discs, tapes, programs that happened previously that have really given me a history and a background, and I want to thank them for that. Some of them you were appointed recently to the EDC, so thank you for seeing that we're reaching out, trying to make, they're reaching out to me, but I'm also trying to reach out to them as well.
Okay. For mine, Henrietta, my average came out to an 8. You and I get to talk to each other every day. Sometimes I feel like you're probably thinking, there she comes again. But we always work out whatever questions I have. I've never had, maybe I've not had any problems getting my answers. I probably have too many questions, but you always take care of it. One of the biggest things that I appreciate the most is your involvement in the community. Because I know when you first started and I told you, you have to get out there. That's the only way you're going to meet the people. And you took that on by the horse.
Well, you've always come, and I do enjoy the only thing that, we spend so much time in the office, I lose track of time. But I think our communication is getting better, and we're trying to work on some of the same things, and hopefully we can see some of the things we've been talking about come to fruition.
Exactly. And the only other thing, the only negative that I have that has gotten better, that I would like to see it get even more better, is communication with the council. When something happens, to let us, like you always send us the texts. If you read it, that's one thing. If you don't, that's their fault. But at least we know if somebody calls us that something has happened, and y'all are real good about that. So that's gotten better. And I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say? They're not going to
I will.
They called that.
Well, this evaluation is for the last quarter of 2014, correct?
It's for the first quarter of 2014, which
Oh,
would be,
2014.
yes, sir, it'll be October, November, December.
Oh, okay, okay, that's right. The fiscal year.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I wasn't here, but let me say that after being here for 2 months, I think you and I share the same vision in many things, especially about bringing heads to beds. We have you talk about comparing the city that you were in Chicago compared to Floresville, and you say how wonderful Floresville is. I have a passion for that, and I think you share that passion that Floresville is a great place to live and to do business. Along with that, when I ran the second time as a council member, I ran on the idea of back to the basics. And I see that we're moving back in the streets. We're going to be discussing our water problems at our next meeting. And now we have a plan for a sewer plant. Now we can invite residents to build here in Floresville. Once we take care of all of these things and start looking for other things like a park and everything that was stopped 2 or 3 years ago. I think we're on the right track. I hope the politics comes to a stop. And I think you're key in that. You're a key person in the city to stop the ugliness that was happening. And the meetings we've had with the EDC and partnering and making Floresville a better place to live and do business, that's a key element, is stopping the ugly things that are happening. So I don't have a score because, like I said, this is part of the time that I wasn't here, but I think you and I share the same vision for Floresville. And I think that's a good thing.
Mayor, if I may, I want to thank Mr. Councilman Kahana for spending so much time. He's allowed me to pick his brain. He has literally brought me programs and things that he had in his previous office, and so, and periodically he'll send me emails, and I have to figure out, you know, who, what. So I really appreciate the time, because I know it's probably time consuming. I know you have other things, but I do appreciate the history. It helps me to know, as it says, you know, people are doomed if they don't know their history, and so their history is really thankful, and I thank you for those comments.
Thank you.
I'm going to be short and sweet.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Dawn?
She's doing a good job. Henrietta, you're making progress. Your main concern is our community, our city. And I want to say thank you for supporting me on some projects. That's it.
Thank you. And I'm really proud. I listed Smart Ideas as one of the accomplishments I was able to do in the first quarter. I thank you for that new incentive program. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go on to our last executive session, because it's way past my bedtime. 6A, adjourning to executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, private consultation with city attorney regarding threatened litigation. May I have a motion to go into executive session?
I so move.
May I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Rodriguez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Time is 10:10.